Pressure with, the kind of physique that they showed there, but bear with me for now. Okay, so I think after a very energetic session, I would want to keep all of you guys on the same energy. So there are going to be very few slides and a lot more interaction between us. I think the first 30 minutes there will still be some slides, but after that it's going to be zero slides. Alright, so let's try and keep up the energy. Blocks. And through that process, try and share stories with each other, right? So that we help each other with making more progress and learning along the journey. And then towards the end, once of course we understand what's going on, we understand from others on what they've been doing to achieve the results, we'll take a pledge. Okay, and this pledge I want everyone to also over the next 6 months to a year continuously remind yourself of the points that I put real soon on the slide and ensure that you follow that on a day-to-day basis and trust the process of doing so, because if you continue to do the right things, the results will always fall into place. 71 client NPS was not something that either me or any of the team members set out to do, right? Saying that, oh, we need all our clients to be promoters. We set out to deliver what we could do best for the clients, and then the results are there to show. Right? So we do that through a series of questions. So let's start with the first question. What is up there? So here's another opportunity to take out your phones and earn points for your teams. First question, fairly simple, as it is in every survey. Have you built any new capability or skill sets in the last 6 months? Simple yes or no, black and white question. And I'm very happy to see that people are being honest. It's very important for this session. So let's ensure that we are giving out honest, achieving your learning goals, and then try and identify solutions or ways in which we can continue to find those opportunities. And if there is additional support required from the company, then let's start talking about some of those aspects as well. So now let's go to the next question. Let's first try and unpack the yes portion here. So for most of you who said yes, how did you go about building the new capability? And on this one you can select multiple options as well. So some of you might have been able to do it through client projects, some for internal projects. A lot of you must be doing self-learning or internal learning. And apart from these three, if there are any others, then that's also an option, of course. So while the voting happens, I'm interested to hear what are some of the other sources which you've gone through for you building your capability. So whoever has voted for others, if you might want to talk a bit more about, what are those sources which you've tapped into. Is also a source of learning for you, right? So that could be just one. So any other sources that you could come up with, because I could only think of 3 and I just put in others there because of lack of ideas or my laziness. But then, come on, any other ideas? Even if you've not voted for others, let's see what would be the other sources where you can learn new skills and build new capabilities.
I think sharing the best practices of what we are doing for the clients.
Okay, fantastic. So knowledge sharing, yes. What else?
To reverse engineer what has already happened, so maybe a dashboard has been
just noticing the deliverables that have been done, how they've done. Fantastic. We actually have a very good example of that also, which we'll cover real soon now. What else? Okay, if not, then actually, given that we've gotten this point now, I'd actually like to invite Amit Balani here for a few minutes. So a lot of you might not know Amit. So Amit has actually joined us as a part of the finance team supporting the US SBU. So he's basically my Nilesh for the US SBU right now. So a lot of responsibilities are handled by him in terms of invoicing, ensuring that the accounting is correct.
Well, before joining,
Yeah.
I have actually 6 years of experience in US accounting, but in my previous organization it was a CFO. So most of the work was accounting and preparation of MIS, but we did everything that was in Excel and QuickBooks. So never used any other software before I joined.
Okay, and then what has been your experience over the last 2 months? What has been different in terms of the work that you were doing versus what you are doing today?
Okay, so basically, one of the key differences, my previous job was client facing, so I was in the delivery team, but here I am at internal finance.
Yep.
So this is the main difference, and in my previous job it was what client demands that only we deliver. So in this job, that it is more about managing and connecting other parts of the team, and like it can be anything, like we are managing to apply for visas, and or let's say about the debit cards issue for in we want debit card named for our team members, or apart from accounting, I'm saying, or apart from preparation of reports. And one of the interesting things that I learned also to how to get to talk to the customer care people of US. So, so that's what I learned after running practice.
Fantastic. Okay. Now diving a bit into your learning experience as well, right? So tell me, did you ever hear about what is Power BI before you joined? You didn't know what it was. Okay. And now today, after 2.5 months, approximately how many weeks have you been working on Power BI?
How many days?
How many days, weeks, whatever?
Around 20-25 days.
20-25 days, right? So now I'll tell you something very interesting that happened, and this is sort of taking cue from what Yashwin said. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's fine. So one of the most interesting things that had happened, so when, as I mentioned, we have internal automation and all of the dashboards are reviewed on Power BI. So I had started that effort, I think about a month and a half back, which is when Amit had sort of come on board. I checked with him, he said he's not done it before, but he's open to learning. That's when we started doing that. I had actually created a dashboard and I had sent it to him for some minor changes which I had shown him how to do. And I had also told him to replicate that for a different data set. I just told him, take this, just replace the data source and you'll have a new dashboard. But what pleasantly surprised me was after 2 days, he set up a call with me and said, I have a few questions and a few doubts which I wanted to clarify. And I was like, the task given wasn't as complicated, so why do we need a call? But when I got onto a call, I was pleasantly surprised. Can you please tell everyone what that was?
I want to add it before this thing happened. Like we were starting to prepare everything on Power BI. Before that, we were using Excel. And whenever we were presenting our data to the senior management, there were many questions that what data is right, why this number is this much, it was supposed to be different and everything. So explaining that was creating more time wastage. So after we got an idea from Ravi that we should use Power BI, and he said me to learn something from LinkedIn Learning and prepare a collection dashboard data on your own. So I created a very simple collection dashboard data and sent it to him, and then he improvised it to a whole new level. And then he sent me the revised file. It was actually commonly shared, but just he texted me that I made few changes and you just go through it. And he actually implemented it for India SBU, and he asked me to replicate the data for US SBU. So I was trying to understand what exactly he did, but and he actually explained me how to replicate the data. So if I would have replicated the data, I won't be able to understand what exact changes he made. So I instead of replicating the data, I prepared another blank file, and I started preparing everything what Ravi prepared for India. So that's how I learned that what additional points that Ravi implemented in India SBU. So that's how I prepared for US SBU.
So see, the key here is I actually gave him a shortcut, which he used, but then he realized that it's probably a shorter term thing, but he wouldn't learn anything out of it. And when I actually got onto the call, he was asking me questions on things that I had not explained to him. And that is when I realized that he's actually done a self-learning course, he's tried to reverse engineer things, and has come up with this idea, right? So this is an example of wanting to do things proactively, right? You don't have to be told that you need to do this. Once you start seeing value in something, right, that this is going to improve my life, it is going to help the company, if that seed is planted in your head, then you don't have to wait for someone to tell you what needs to be done. right? And I think this is something that we should also start actively doing for our clients. If there is any report that the client reviews on an ongoing basis, which you can automate or can make it a lot better, invest that time that is required. If it is 2 hours, 3 hours, without the fear of a rejection or a failure. Just do it once, try it once, you will get it right in the eventual tries, and then the delight that you will see on the client's face will be fantastic, and that is how you will be able to further improve that for our clients. Oftentimes, I do understand that there are cases where you'll be so bogged down by the work where you'll say, I don't have time for doing this, but just take out those couple of hours for you, be selfish, take that time out, be proactive, and if you're not getting an understanding of what is needed, please ask. Right? There are subject matter sharing your experiences. Going back to those who had answered yes, what are those skill sets that you built over the last 6 months? So I'm seeing SAP S4HANA, SAP B1, RPA, Power Query, visualization, data factory, data science, okay? Build tests. Time to get back on your phones. Oh, there you go. I actually had another same question, which I was going to put forward if I wouldn't have seen any soft skills here. So it's good that people are already thinking about that. So it's going to help me save time and avoid some nasty stares that I get from the right side of the room. So thank you. Surprised, right? Given the push that we're doing for the client, so it's good to see us building more and more there. I'm also seeing RPA where we've done things. MS Teams, very happy to see that because that is going to be at the center of a lot of things that we continue to do in the company, and I'm sure Aishwarya will be covering a few aspects of that as well. Communication skills, very good. Negotiation, Ajay, you must be happy.
Every portfolio should have certain type of skill sets. It could be Power Automate, it could be Power BI, it could be anything in automation. So every team has a second in line, every EL has a second in line.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a perfect plan for them that they are supposed to ensure that certain skill sets have been added every quarter. Okay, that's something which is really helping. That is one.
Okay.
Apart from that, we've also started rating people only on learning. A lot of time what happens is they're doing super great work at the client place, but it is not helping them to grow. So there are certain parameters that we are rating, maybe 20% or even more at some level, where we feel that it is important for them to learn. So every time there has to be a certain learning levels that is increasing every quarter. That's something which is happening, and it is helping a lot.
That's helpful. Actually, mentorship is a very, very good and important point. So let's move to the next question. I think we can skip the repeat question because we have so many behavioral skills as well that have come up. Okay, so now this is an interesting one, right? Now, in the previous question, you answered what capabilities you were able to build, but this one is slightly different. What were the capabilities that you wanted to build, but you were not able to? And there can be a host of reasons which we discuss later, but first let's look at skills that you wanted to build but have not been able to. So what would those be? Good. Time management, public speaking, okay. So are you seeing the commonality? When I asked the question, what have you learned or what have you picked up, the answer was Power BI, Power Query, communication skills, Power Automate. And now when I'm asking the same question, what you've not been able to do, the answer is similar. Right? It's okay if you make mistakes, but do something different and try things out. Don't be afraid to fail, be afraid not to try. This is a very famous saying by Michael Jordan. If you've seen The Last Dance, you will see how important it is. Everyone for being a very good and engaging audience. Thank you so much.